lesson about drafting pattern for the basics. We are already done with the front pattern. Now we will proceed in drafting the back bodice pattern, the basic back bodice pattern. So again, if this is my perpendicular line, this is my point 1. Now from point 1 downward, that is point 2, we measure the figure or the bodice length and then square the line. Then from point 1 going to point 3, 1/2 of our shoulder measure plus 1 inch, and that is our point 3, square the line. Now from point 1 going to point 4, that is 1/2 of our shoulder measure and square down a thin line below your point 4. Then from your point 1 going to point 5, you measure 2 1/2 inches and mark point 5. And from point 1 downward, we measure 3/4 inch and mark point 6. And let us connect our points 5 and 6 using our French curve. Now please try to observe how I manipulated my French curve properly in connecting points 5 and 6 for us to have a smooth curve in forming our back neckline. So for this time, we will be shaping it like this, a boat type neckline. Now again, please try to avoid corners and make a smooth curve. Now, let's proceed. From our point 4 downward, we measure 1 3/4 inches and mark point 7. Now again, this is our shoulder drop from point 4 to point 7. Then connect points 5 and 7 using your ruler or your L square, forming our shoulder line. We go to point 8. Now, from point 3 going to the right, we measure the 1/4 of our bust measurement and mark point 8. Now, since we are on the back portion, we won't be adding 1 inch as for an allowance. So, after locating our point 8, we immediately get the midpoint of our point 7 along corner point 3/8. Now, I've already shown you how to get the midpoint. So, place your tape measure on your point 7 and fold it. Now, wherever is the half of it, now that is your point 9. Now, from your point 9 inward, you measure 5/8 and mark point 11. And you connect points 7, 11, and 8. Again, if you have difficulty in shaping your armhole, you can just first connect your points 7 and 11 using this part of your French curve, and the points 11 and 8 will be shaped using this part. But again, if ever when you place your French curve like this and you already hit the point 7, 11, and 8, that would be okay. Let's continue. Now, from your point 2 going to the right, we measure the 1/4 of your waist measurement and mark point 11. Now, again, the armholes points from point 9 inward, this is 5/8 and mark point 10. Now, let's continue. Let me reiterate this part. From point 2 going to 11, this is 1/4 of your waist measurement and mark point 11. Now, we will be having 1 and 1/4 inches allowance for our waistline. So from point 11 going to the right, we measure 1 and 1/4 inches and mark point 12. And then connect points 8 and 12 using ruler or your L square. Then, let's proceed. From your point 1 downward, you measure the length of your bust height and mark point 13. Now, from your point 13, you measure the 1/2 of your bust distance and mark point 14. From your point 2, again, going to the right, we measure the 1/2 of our bust distance and mark point 15. From point 15 going to 16, which is on the left side, we mark point 16 after you have measured 5/8. Then from your point 15 going to the right, which is our point 17, and then that is still 5/8. So, balik ko na ko from point 15 to 16, 5/8, 15 to 17, 5/8. Then, connect point 17, connect points 14, 16, 15, and 17 to point 14 using your L square or your ruler. This is now our back basic